My name's Charity, and I'm 33 years old. I work as an interior designer here in Portland, Oregon. And let me tell you, it wasn't the path my family wanted for me. My parents own a chain of restaurants around the city. Nothing fancy, just your typical American fare. Burgers, steaks, that kind of thing. 5 locations total. Dad started the business when I was a kid, and from day one, he made it clear that both his kids would work in the family empire. My younger brother Jason, who's 31 now, ate that stuff up. Me, I had other plans. Growing up, it was obvious who the favorite was. When I was 14 and Jason was 12, we both wanted new bikes for Christmas. Jason got a top-of-the-line mountain bike. I got a used one from a garage sale that Dad painted over to make it look new. When Jason crashed his car at 17 because he was texting while driving, Dad bought him a newer model. When I got a parking ticket the same year, I had to pay it myself, plus lost car privileges for a month. The real kicker was when Jason forgot to lock up the downtown restaurant one night when he was 19. Someone broke in, stole thousands of dollars from the register, and trashed the place. Total losses were around $15,000. Dad's response: "Everyone makes mistakes, son. We'll be more careful next time." Mom just nodded alone, like always. I remember sitting at the dinner table thinking if I'd done that, they'd have downed me on the spot. When I turned 18, I got accepted to art school in Seattle, interior design program. I was so excited. Showed Dad the acceptance letter and his face just went cold. "If you don't join their restaurants, you're on your own," he said. "We're not paying for some art degree when you should be learning the family business." Mom sat there quietly, her lips pressed tight, clearly agreeing with him. And Jason, that little punk, sat there grinning like he just won the lottery. More restaurant shares for him, I guess. So I went anyway, worked 2 jobs, waitressing at night, tutoring other students during the day, took out student loans that I'm still paying off. Graduated with honors, though, came back to Portland and started building my career from scratch. Started with small residential projects, worked my way up to boutique hotels and luxury homes. Even took business courses on the side because I wanted to understand that world too. By 33, I was signing 6-figure contracts and had become one of the go-to designers for high-end spaces in Portland. 5 years ago, when I was 28, Mom got really sick, cancer. The treatments cost a fortune, and Dad's restaurants were struggling with rising food costs and minimum wage increases. Their insurance barely covered the basics. Chemo, radiation, specialist visits, the bills kept piling up. I didn't even think twice. Started paying for everything. Hospital bills, medications. That specialist in San Francisco who finally got her into remission must have been close to $100,000 when all was said and done. Dad said they'd pay me back when things got better. We both knew that was bull, but I didn't care. She was my mom. After Mom recovered, she sent me a text. "Thank you for everything, sweetie." That was it. No call, no visit, just a text. Then 3 years ago, when I was 30, Jason decided he wanted to start his own thing, a food truck. Called it Jason's Gourmet on Wheels, or some stupid name like that. Within 6 months, it was dead in the water. He'd maxed out his credit cards, couldn't pay his suppliers, and couldn't cover his share of expenses at the family restaurants. Dad called me. "Your brother needs help." I sent $25,000 to pay off Jason's debts and another $15,000 to keep the restaurants from going under. You know what Jason did at the next family barbecue? He stood there with a beer in his hand, telling everyone how he'd navigated through a tough business climate and restructured his finances. Not one word about my money saving his ass, but I kept giving. When the kitchen equipment at the main restaurant broke down, I paid. When Mom needed follow-up treatments, I paid. When they needed to settle a lawsuit with a customer who slipped and fell, I paid. Each time, I hoped maybe this would be the moment they'd see me as more than just a checkbook. But at every family dinner, all Dad talked about was the restaurants and Jason's potential and his vision for expansion. So, here we were, present day, and Dad's restaurants were once again bleeding money. He'd called me earlier in the week, said we needed to have a family dinner to discuss important business matters. I showed up at their house on a Thursday night. Mom had made pot roast, Dad's favorite. Jason was there with his fiancée, Madison, who he'd been dating for about a year. I actually liked Madison. She seemed smart, grounded, way too good for my brother. We'd barely started eating when Dad cleared his throat. Charity, we need $50,000 for restaurant improvements and expansion. Just like that. Number. How are you? Number. Nice to see you. Just give us $50,000. I put down my fork and reached for my bag. Actually, Dad, I've been working on something. A complete business optimization plan for the restaurants. I pulled out a folder thick with papers and diagrams. I've analyzed your operations, created cost reduction strategies, and designed a complete eco-friendly renovation plan that would modernize the restaurants, attract a younger demographic. I opened the folder, excited to finally contribute something more than just money. Let me start with the cost analysis. If we look at your current expenses versus projected, nobody needs to be looking at our expenses. Jason interrupted, his voice sharp. He laughed, but it sounded forced. Come on, Charity. You decorate rich people's houses. You don't know anything about running restaurants. I have an MBA in addition to my design degree, I reminded him. Dad waved his hand dismissively. It's a waste of money. Jason's working on opening a 6th location. That's our priority. Mom stayed silent, but her body language said everything. Straight back, chin up, standing with her husband and son like always. I closed the folder. Then I can't help you. I don't have $50,000 to spare right now. The silence was deafening. Dad's face turned red. Mom looked at her plate. Jason glared at me like I'd just spit in his food. Madison tried to break the tension. Charity, this design work looks incredible. Maybe, Madison, stay out of family business? Jason snapped. I packed up my folder. They all turned away from me, started talking among themselves like I wasn't even there. Only Madison kept glancing at me with something like sympathy in her eyes. I left without saying goodbye. When I got home, I threw the folder on the table. All those hours of research, all those designs wasted. I made myself some tea with Melissa, this herbal blend that usually calms me down. Didn't really work this time, but I tried. A couple of weeks passed. Work kept me busy. I had 3 projects running simultaneously, which was good because it kept my mind off family drama. Then I remembered I'd left some of my old portfolios in my parents' attic. College stuff, early designs that I needed for a retrospective presentation a client had requested. I called Mom. Her phone rang and rang, then went to voicemail. That was odd. She usually picked up, especially in the afternoon. I tried again the next day. Same thing. After work on Wednesday, I decided to just drive over and get my things. It was around 6 o'clock in the evening when I pulled up to their house. Both cars were in the driveway, so they were definitely home. I knocked on the front door. No answer. Knocked again, louder this time. Nothing. Finally, I used my spare key and let myself in. I was about to call out when I heard my name from the living room. They were talking loudly, almost arguing. I froze in the hallway. Jason is the only one who's involved in the family business, Dad was saying. He supports our traditions. He's always on our side. Charity just goes about her business and doesn't care about us. We should rewrite the will, he continued. Everything should go to Jason. The house, the restaurants, all of it. Oh, Dad, thank you, Jason said, sounding genuinely happy. This means everything to me. I won't let you down. Mom's voice came next, awkward and uncertain. But Charity has given us so much money over the years. She paid for my treatments. She's just a walking ATM, Dad interrupted harshly. She thinks she can buy our love with her money. Someone like that doesn't deserve respect, let alone an inheritance. Jason laughed. Actually laughed at that. Exactly right, Dad. Mom fell silent. She didn't say another word. I backed out of the house as quietly as I'd entered, got in my car, drove home on autopilot. My hands were shaking the whole way. They'd already decided everything. I was just waiting to see what would happen next. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a text from Mom. Don't call and don't come. It's over between us. Just like that. No explanation, no context. Though I didn't need any after what I'd heard. I typed back one word, understood. Then I opened my banking app. Over the years, I'd set up so many automatic payments. Mom's medical expenses, $500 a month for her prescriptions and specialist visits. Payments on Jason's remaining debts, $800 monthly. Utility bills for 2 of their restaurants, about $3,000 total. All of it coming out of my account like clockwork. I canned every single one. The next morning, my phone exploded. 27 calls before 9 a.m. Texts, voicemails, emails. Jason's voicemail was vicious. You selfish brat. How could you do this, Taus? After everything we've done for you, you're pathetic, Charity. Completely pathetic. Mom sent text after text. How can you do this after everything I went through? After I almost died, my medical bills? Charity, how could you? You're breaking my heart. Is this how you treat your sick mother? Dad's emails were short and demanding. Fix this immediately. Their restaurants will not survive without your support. Restore the payments now. I didn't answer any of them. Not one call, not one text, not one email. But they didn't give up. Mom showed up at my apartment 3 times that week. I'd see her through the peephole, standing there knocking for 15-20 minutes at a time. Charity, please open the door. We need to talk. Please, honey, I'm your mother. I'd sit on my couch working on my laptop, pretending I couldn't hear her. Eventually, she'd leave, but she always came back. The worst was when Jason started showing up at my office. He'd wait by my car in the parking garage, approaching me when I tried to leave. You can't avoid us forever, he said one evening, blocking my path to my car. You owe us. You owe me. Move, Jason. Not until you turn the payments back on. He was getting louder, more aggressive, his face red with anger. Few of my male colleagues were heading to their cars and noticed the situation. Everything okay, Charity? Asked Tom from accounting. My brother was just leaving, I said. No, I wasn't. Tom and 2 other guys stepped closer. I think you were. Jason looked at the 3 men, then back at me. This isn't over. After that incident, Tom and the others started walking me to my car every evening. I hated meeting the escort, but Jason had looked ready to do something stupid, and I wasn't taking chances. 3 days after Jason's parking garage stunt, I was in my office reviewing fabric samples when my assistant knocked. There's a Madison here to see you. Says it's urgent and personal. She came in looking nervous, almost scared. She was carrying a manila folder and kept glancing over her shoulder like someone might be following her. Madison, if Jason sent you. He didn't, she said quickly. He doesn't know I'm here. Can I sit down? I nodded, curious now. She sat across from my desk and pushed the folder toward me. You need to see this, she said. I couldn't stand by anymore. Not after what they're doing to you. I opened the folder. Bank statements, receipts, transaction records, all from the restaurant accounts going back 3 years. What am I looking at? Evidence. Madison said Jason's been stealing from the restaurants. Tens of thousands of dollars charity. That's why they're always struggling. I flipped through the papers, my eyes widening. Transfers to offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands. Receipts for a Rolex watch, $12,000. Vegas trips, first-class flights to Miami. A boat he kept at the marina. All of it traced back to the restaurant accounts. How did you get these? I've been helping with the books for the past 6 months, Madison said. Jason thought it would be good practice for when we were married and I joined the family business. But the more I looked, the more I found. He's been siphoning money for years. Why are you showing me this? Madison's eyes filled with tears. Because what they're doing to you is wrong. And because I can't marry someone who steals from his own family while blaming his sister for not giving enough. I'm leaving him, but I thought you deserved to know the truth first. Thank you, I said, genuinely grateful. This explains so much. After Madison left, I sat at my desk and did the math. Added up everything I'd given them over the years. Mom's medical bills, Jason's debts, restaurant expenses, equipment, lawsuits, utilities. The number made me sick. $183,000. And Jason had been stealing the whole time. A week later, Mom called from a number I didn't recognize. We need to meet, she said without preamble. All of us to discuss the family situation. The Bridge Cafe downtown tomorrow at 2. I agreed, but only because I had things to say. I arrived at the cafe early and got a table by the window. They came in together, Mom, Dad, and Jason. They sat down across from me like we were at a business meeting. Dad started immediately, not even bothering with hello. Your childish tantrum is destroying our family business. You need to restore the payments immediately. I actually laughed. Childish tantrum. Is that what you call it when someone stops being a walking ATM? His face went red. What did you say? You heard me, Dad. I heard you too. In your living room calling me a walking ATM, saying I don't deserve respect. Mom went pale. You were? You were there? I came to get my things from the attic. But yeah, I heard everything, including the part about cutting me out of the will. That's private family business. Dad sputtered. I'm family. Or I was until Mom texted me that it was over between us. You're twisting everything, Jason said. You're just bitter and jealous. Am I? I pulled out copies of Madison's documents and slammed them on the table, then explained this. 3 years of theft, Jason. Tens of thousands stolen from the restaurants while you blamed their failures on everything but yourself. Jason's face drained of color. Those are fake. You made these up to make me look bad. Dad grabbed the papers, scanning them, but instead of anger at Jason, he turned on me. You're spying on us now, trying to destroy our family. I've given you $183,000 over the years, I said. While Jason was stealing, while you were calling me an ATM, while you were writing me out of your will. Family helps family, Dad said. Really? Then where's Jason's help? Oh, right. He's too busy stealing. I never stole anything, Jason shouted loud enough that other customers looked over. The receipts say otherwise. Even if there were some irregularities, Dad said carefully, that's internal family business. You had no right to cut us off like this. I had every right. It's my money. Their restaurants will fail. Then let Jason save them. He's the one you're proud of, remember? The one who deserves the inheritance. You'll regret this, Dad said, his voice low and threatening. I stood up to leave, then turned back with a smile. Oh, before I forget, remember that business plan you rejected? The one Jason said was worthless. I sold it to Pacific Restaurant Group yesterday, $500,000. Mom's mouth fell open. Dad's eyes went wide. Jason looked like he might throw up. They loved the eco-friendly design concept, I continued. They're implementing it across all 40 of their locations. Said it was exactly what they were looking for. Funny how my little art project was worth $500,000 to people who actually understand business. You can't. That was for our restaurants, Dad stammered. You rejected it, said it was a waste of money. Your loss. I walked toward the door, then stopped and looked back one more time. Let's see how well your chosen child takes care of you. I'm done being your cash machine. The last thing I heard as I left was Jason yelling that I was a selfish brat and Dad telling him to shut up because people were staring. I walked out into the Portland afternoon, feeling lighter than I had in years. I blocked all their numbers, all their email addresses, and unfriended them on social media. Complete radio silence. Over the next few weeks, I threw myself into my work. With the $500,000 from Pacific Restaurant Group, I could finally expand my business the way I'd always wanted. I hired 2 junior designers and an administrative assistant, started taking on bigger projects. A boutique hotel chain wanted me to redesign their Pacific Northwest locations. 6 months passed after that meeting at the cafe. My business was thriving with the expansion. We'd taken on 12 major projects and my team was killing it. The boutique hotel chain contract alone was worth $2 million over 3 years. I'd moved to a better apartment downtown, one with a home office and a view of Mount Hood. No more looking over my shoulder in parking garages. No more knocks on my door that I had to ignore. Just peace and success. Then one afternoon I ran into my Aunt Patricia at Whole Foods. Dad's sister, but we'd always gotten along. She looked uncomfortable when she saw me. Charity, how are you, dear? I'm good, Patricia. Really good. She shifted her weight, clearly debating whether to say something. Have you heard about the restaurants? They're gone. Bankruptcy. All 5 locations shuttered last month. I felt something. Not satisfaction exactly, but not sadness either. Just a kind of hollow acknowledgement. I see. Jason's in legal trouble, Patricia continued. Once the restaurants went under, suppliers started suing. Turns out he'd been taking money right up until the end, got desperate and stopped being careful about it. He's looking at criminal charges. And Mom and Dad, they sold the house, bought a small apartment in Gresham. Your father's working at a hardware store. Your mother's got a part-time job at Macy's. The golden child's parents reduced to retail work in their 60s. The irony wasn't lost on me. They asked about you, Patricia said carefully. I'm not saying you should forgive them. I just thought you should know. I thanked Patricia and finished my shopping, but the encounter stuck with me. Not enough to reach out, but enough to make me think. 2 weeks later, I got a call from an unknown Portland number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Charity. It was Mom sounding older, tired. Please don't hang up. What do you want? I needed to apologize. Really apologize. Not ask for anything, just say I'm sorry. I stayed silent. We failed you, she continued. We took you for granted. We used you. We chose Jason over you every single time. And look where it got us. He won't even talk to us now. Says we ruined his life by not having better lawyers. Of course he did. Classic Jason. I think about what your father said calling you an ATM. I should have stood up for you. Should have defended you, but I was a coward. I'm sorry, Charity. I'm so sorry. Are you sorry because you lost everything or sorry because you hurt me? A long pause. Both. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's honest. Losing everything made him realize how badly we hurt you, how we valued your money over you as a person. At least you're being honest. Could we maybe have coffee sometime just to talk? I'm not asking for money or help, just a chance to maybe start over. No, I said firmly. You texted me that it was over between us. You meant it then, and I mean it now." "I understand," she said, her voice breaking. "I just want you to know that I really am proud of you. Not for the money you gave us, but for becoming who you are despite us. You're successful, independent, strong. Everything we should have encouraged instead of dismissed. Goodbye, Mom. Goodbye, Charity. Be happy." I hung up and deleted the number. A month later, I heard through Patricia that Jason had pleaded guilty to embezzlement charges. He got 18 months in minimum security and had to pay restitution, not that he had any money left. My parents were living in their one-bedroom apartment, working their retail jobs, getting by on Social Security and minimum wage. The empire they'd built was gone. The son they'd favored had abandoned them. The daughter they dismissed was thriving without them. I channeled all my energy into my work. My firm was now one of the premier design houses in the Pacific Northwest. We had 18 employees, offices in Portland and Seattle, and more work than we could handle. I bought a house last month, a beautiful Craftsman in the Laurelist neighborhood, for bedrooms, original hardwood floors, a garden that reminds me of what Mom used to grow before she stopped caring about anything but the restaurants and Jason. Sometimes I drive past one of the old restaurant locations. They're all something else now. A cannabis dispensary, a yoga studio, a Vietnamese restaurant that's apparently amazing. No trace of my family's legacy except some faded signage adhesive on the windows. Do I regret cutting them off? Number. They showed me who I really was to them. A resource to be exploited, not a daughter to be loved. When I stopped being useful, I stopped existing to them. When they lost everything, suddenly I mattered again. But by then it was too late. Madison sent me a Christmas card this year. She's engaged to someone new working as an accountant. Happy. She thanked me again for being kind to her when she brought me those documents. Said it gave her the courage to leave and start over. That's what I did too, I guess. Started over. Built a life where my worth isn't measured by what I can give people who don't value me. Where my success is celebrated, not dismissed. Where I'm more than just a walking ATM. My family got what they wanted, Jason, all to themselves. No interference from me and my money. Turns out that wasn't worth much after all. The golden child became tarnished metal. The family business became a cautionary tale. And the discarded daughter, I became everything they said I couldn't be.